Thank you, madam. So first of all, I welcome you all for this awareness program on policy objectives and provisions of innovation and startup policy at institute level. Before starting the webinar, I would like to thank our SVC management for providing me an opportunity to present about innovation and startup policy made at the institute level. So we all know that in recent days, in recent 2 to 3 years, we can see a lot of innovation and startup activities are going on in higher education institute, especially the technical institutes, right? So if there is no proper channel or proper provision or proper framework made with respect to this innovation and startup activities, then they may not go in a smoother way. So keeping in view of this thing, because any innovation, if we take, it will have a lot of steps inside it. Okay, initially pre-incubation will be there, incubation activities will be there, then business model we have to develop, then we have to establish the startup. So many things are involved in that. See, if if a faculty or student who is acting as an innovator or who is doing innovation activities, if he or she is not having proper framework, then it will be difficult to carry out all these things. Keeping in view of these things, the Ministry of HRD has launched NISP on 11th September 2019. NISP means National Innovation and Startup Policy. So by referring to this National Innovation and Startup Policy, which is given by MHRD, at our institute level, means at our SVC level, we have made innovation and startup policy. So before making this innovation and startup policy, an expert committee was made, which includes various persons from various industries and from various streams. Okay, a number of iterative meetings were conducted to finalize the innovation and startup policy at our SVC level. And after taking the various inputs from all those experts, and again by referring to the NISP, which is left by government, we have come up with the final innovation and startup policy made at institute level. So in today's session, I will be briefing about the important points on innovation and startup policy made at our institute level. So the various thrust areas in which this innovation and startup policy covers is the strategies and governance made to create the startup ecosystem in the institution. Then startup enabling institutional infrastructure means the various infrastructural facilities provided by the college or the institution to promote this innovation and entrepreneurship activities will be discussed under this section. Then nurturing innovations and startups, various measures taken to nurture the innovation and startups will be discussed under this section. And if a faculty or student develops a product, then after developing a product, then it comes to the IPR related things. There will be a policy made with respect to the product ownership rights for technologies developed at SVCE, either by the faculty or the student. Then various things related to the organizational capacity, human resources and incentives for faculties will be discussed who are working in the field of innovation and the startup. Then the things related to creating innovation pipeline and pathways for entrepreneurs at institution level will be discussed. Then norms for faculty startups. If a faculty is doing an innovation activities, means if he is working on a particular innovation, if he or she wants to have a startup at the institution, so there are some norms framed by the institution that we will see. And then pedagogy in learning interventions for entrepreneurship development will be discussed. Then collaboration, co-creation, business relationships and knowledge exchange will be discussed. Finally, After all these things, the entrepreneurial impact assessment will be made. The criteria for getting for doing entrepreneurial impact assessment will be discussed. Coming to the strategies and governance made with respect to create the startup ecosystem in the institution. We all know that in the year of 2017 only we have started with this innovation activity. We have formed a separate or dedicated building, that is QRights. From there we have started doing the innovations, and even we have developed some product, and we have done some patenting for a few products developed at the QRights. As a governance to improve this innovation activities, we have a dedicated innovation and entrepreneurship council. We have IIC established since I think 2007 to 2018. That IIC continuously it is working towards creating the startup ecosystem or innovation system in the institute. It is conducting various activities related to innovation and the startup. It is conducting lot many webinars continuously. Students and faculties are attending and they are into having the entrepreneurial mindset, and they are changing themselves towards involving in innovation activities. So to support this innovation and startup activity, 1% of the total annual budget of the institution will be specifically allotted to conduct this innovation and startup. And whatever the fund allocated by the institution, it may not be sufficient if a number of faculty entrepreneurs or if a number of students who is working on creating or developing the product is higher, then we need to have higher fund. So for that, it is highly encouraged and appreciated to approach private and corporate sectors to generate the funds. We have CSR funds, that is corporate social responsibility funds from the companies, that we can utilize, that we can approach the companies and we can get it as a seed funding for our innovation and the startup activities. Then one more way to create the funds is utilizing the alumni network for fundraising through sponsorships and for promoting innovation and entrepreneurship activities. We have so many alumni. We have so many alumni working in various multinational companies, and we have few alumni. We have to identify few alumni who are interested in funding a startup. Okay, they themselves may be investors. Okay, we can utilize them, and we can also there may be some alumni who are working in government like MSME. We have to contact them, and by utilizing them, we can generate the funds for our innovation and startup activities, apart from the 1% fund which is allotted by the institutional budget. Then to develop entrepreneurship culture beyond the boundaries, the strategic international partnerships using bilateral and multilateral channels with international innovation clusters and other relevant organizations shall be encouraged. So this is under the strategies under and the governance. Then coming to the various infrastructural facilities, what we have at our institute level for innovation and startup activities. As I said earlier, we have a dedicated building which is built in the year of 2017 with well-equipped cubicles and startup working. Even we can see 2 to 3 startups already working in that dedicated building. well in advance. We should be very proud that we have started this innovation and startup culture before the Institute Innovation Council from the government, correct? So we should be very happy for that. Well in advance we have started and we are into it. And we have advanced labs, design centers, and almost in all the departments we have Center of Excellence and Innovation Center. Then pre-incubation and incubation facilities made available 24/7. If any faculty or the students wants to work in the field of innovation, if he wants to do some innovation activity, or if he wants to establish his own startup, then the facilities, incubation facilities made available 24/7. There won't be any time restriction. Any time, for any duration, he or she can work. Then the incubation center will provide facilities to incubate by a mutual agreement between Incubate and the incubation center. Of course, there are some commercials involved whenever a person develops a product, or whenever a student or a teacher establishes a startup. Okay, so a mutual agreement will be done with respect to the budget and all, and the faculty or the student will be allowed to use the or utilize the incubation center. And the faculty or the students can use all our laboratory facility available in our institute without any charges, but a prior permission to be taken from the concerned authority. And incubation center may identify associate professionals for accounting, IP, legal and management expertise on a part-time basis. Of course, when we developed the product and when we wanted to have the intellectual property rights, already we have a few patent attorneys which are identified by our institution, and they are helping out regarding this intellectual property rights for the products developed, and all the things related to this IP will be taken care by the institution only. That we already experienced in last 2017 when we started developing the product. Then each incubatee is required to have a faculty mentor from SVCE. Suppose if a student wants to do an innovation, then that student should have a mentor, okay, a faculty mentor, then so that he can arrive at a good solution to the problem on which he is working, correct? Therefore, a student should have a faculty mentor. And if a student wants to have a mentor, faculty mentor from any other private bodies or any other institution, then permission needs to be taken before having the mentor or advisor from the private bodies other than SVCE. Then resident company or incubatee will be permitted to incubate in SVCE for a period of 24 months. Up to 2 years, the incubatee means the one who is doing the innovation, who is doing the product development. Okay. Then 2 further extensions can be granted for 6 months at a time at the sole discretion of SVCE. Up to 2 years time period will be given for a student or faculty to develop the solution or to develop the product. Then if it is required, 6 months extensions will be given at 2 consecutive times if required. Then policies made with respect to the nurturing innovations and startups. It's not that only if a product is developed, that's the end. It has to be improved, updated, and it should be taken to the market. Okay, establishment of the startup, everything should be taken care. For that, SVC will establish processes and mechanisms for easy creation and nurturing of startups enterprises by students, faculty, alumni, potential startup applicants, even from outside the institution. SVC may allow their students, staff to work on their innovative projects and setting up startups or work as intern or part-time in startups while studying, working with due approval of the competent authority. In the morning meeting, our principal sir was saying there will be two category of students. One is normal learners and another one is advanced learners. For advanced learners, we can make them to work on these innovation and startup activities with a prior permission from the competent authority. Student inventors may also be allowed to upload startup in place of their mini project, major project, seminar, summer trainings. The area which student wants to initiate the startup may be interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary. As I said, for advanced learners, we can motivate those students to work on these innovation activities. And one more provision we have for student entrepreneurs is if a student is really working on innovation and really working on establishing his own startup, then he or she will be allowed for the examination even if his attendance is less than that minimum required. Okay. So that provision is also there from the institution. That in the morning meeting also the principal sir was telling for advanced learners we can give the attendance, we can make them to work on their own on this innovation or any project. SVC will explore provision of accommodation to the entrepreneurs within the campus for some period of time if it is required. If a innovation or startup is already established, if it is needed, then college will explore the accommodation for the entrepreneurs. And other things which will facilitate in nurturing the startups are short-term 6-month, 1-year part-time entrepreneurship training. Already we are into it. We are all registered for design thinking course, correct? So if we complete the design thinking course, we can act as a mentor for the students for their innovations. Even in Institute Innovation Council, there are there is innovation ambassador training going on. Few of our IAC members have completed the basic level training, and few of our IAC members have already completed the advanced innovation ambassador program. They can definitely, they will definitely help the students, and they will act as mentors for students. And the institution may also link the startups to other seed fund providers, angel funds, venture funds, or itself may set up seed fund once the incubation activities mature. And apart from all these things, technology development, ideation, creativity, design thinking, fundraising, financial management, cash flow management, new venture planning, business development, then product development, social entrepreneurship, then product costing, marketing, brand development, all these things will be encouraged by the institution. Yeah, and one more thing, in return of the services and the facilities, technology business incubator may take 2 to 9.5% of the equity or stake in the startup or company, because the student or the faculty will be utilizing the institutional infrastructure for development of the product. Even the institution will be helping in filing the patent and establishing the startup. Okay, so in return to that, the incubator may take 2 to 9.5% of the equity stake in the startup or company. This is for students. This is for student startups. With respect to the faculty startups, for staff and faculty, institute can take no more than 20% of shares that staff faculty while drawing the full salary from the institute. If a faculty startup is established, institute may take up to 20% of the shares from the faculty startup, while the faculty is getting the full salary. Then institution may also update, change or revise performance evaluation policies for faculty and staff as stated in previous slides. Then coming to the product ownership rights for technologies developed at SPCE, it is very clear policy made at the institute level. If a student or faculty is developing a product or is doing a innovation by using institutional infrastructure, by using the incubation facilities provided by the college, then IPR is to be jointly owned by inventors and SVCE. This we have already done it for the few products developed at our institution. Then if one or more of the inventors wish to incubate a company and license the product to this company, the royalties would be no more than 4% of the sale price, preferably 1 to 2% unless it is pure software product. On the other hand, if a product IPR is developed by innovators not using the SVCE facilities outside the office hours or not as a part of curriculum by student, then product or IPR will be entirely owned by inventors. Okay. If the student or faculty not utilizing the infrastructure facility of the institute, then outside the college hours, outside the office hours, if it is developed by the faculty or the student, then it will be entirely owned by the respective inventors only. Then SVCE decision making body with respect to incubation, IPR, technology licensing will consist of faculty and experts who have excelled in technology translation. We have a few good number of faculties who are already developed the product and already developed the patent, and we have the legal advisor as well, the patent attorney as well. By using all these entities, the SVCE decision making body will be formed. Then interdisciplinary research and publication on startup and entrepreneurship will be promoted by the SVCE. Then when SVCE is paying for patent filing, the institute will constitute a committee which can examine whether IPR is worth patenting. If a product is developed, then if a product is developed or if an innovation is done by a student or faculty, then directly it will not be allowed to file the patent. First it will be examined by the expert committee whether the innovation or the idea will suit or will fit for filing the patent or not. That will be decided. Based on that decision, that innovation or the product will be allowed to apply for the patent. Then coming to the organization capacity and human resources and incentives with respect to the innovation and startups, some of the relevant faculty members with prior exposure and interest will be encouraged for undergoing training to promote innovation and entrepreneurship. This we are already doing. Innovation ambassador training is going on. Even design thinking training is going on for all the faculties. All the faculties have registered and they are actively learning the design thinking. They are getting expertise with the design thinking. Periodically, some external subject matter experts such as guest lecturers, alumni can be engaged for strategic advice and bringing in skills which are not available internally. Here, through Institute Innovation Council, through our IIC cell, we are conducting a number of technical talks, a number of expert talks which are from industry persons or which are from the new young entrepreneurs. Okay, all those things we are doing to create the innovation and startup ecosystem. Faculty and staff will be encouraged to do courses on innovation, entrepreneurship management, and venture development. This we are, as I said, this we already we are all doing. We are into it. Then, if a staff becomes successful in an innovation and patent filing and establishing the startup, okay, as an improvement, as a further to provide the opportunity to him or her to further development of his startup, then reward system for the staff may include sabbaticals. Okay, special leaves will be sanctioned. Then office and lab space for entrepreneurial activities will be provided. Then reduced teaching loads, awards, trainings, etc. will be provided for successful successful teacher of the college in the field of innovation. Then the recognition of the stakeholders may include offering use of facilities and services, fellowships, associateships, etc. A performance matrix will be developed and used for evaluation of annual performance. Okay, when we were working in the curates, when we were into product development, so we had performance matrix to be fulfilled by our academic performance. Similarly, we have a performance matrix developed at institute level in the field of innovation and the startup. Then to improve innovation and startup activities, there should be a innovation pipeline and pathways created. For that, what are all the policies made are the spreading awareness among students and faculty and staff about the value of entrepreneurship and its role in career development or employability will be part of institution's entrepreneurial agenda. The students or staff will be taught that innovation is a mechanism to solve problems of the society and the consumers. Students will be encouraged to develop entrepreneurial mindset through experiential learning by exposing them to training in cognitive skills. Then to prepare the students for creating startup through the education, integration of education activities with enterprise related activities will be done. Then the SVC will link, it may also link the startups and companies with wider entrepreneurial ecosystem and by providing support to students who show potential in pre-startup phase. As we all know, the SVC has already established IIC in the year of 2018 as per the guidelines of MHRD's innovation cell and allocated appropriate budget for its activity. It is actively going on, and we were the first rank in conducting IIC activities in southwestern region. And other things included are the networking events will be organized to create platform for the budding entrepreneurs to meet investors and pitch their ideas. So wherever the platforms are available to pitch the ideas, where the so many investors will be ready to invest, ready to do the investment on establishing the startups, all those things will be conveyed, or all those messages will be passed on to the faculties and the students. They can utilize it and provide business incubation facilities, premises at subsidized cost, laboratories, research facilities, IT services, training, mentoring, etc. will be accessible to the new startups. All these things are made available already in our institution. Then a culture will be developed to understand that money is not free and is risk capital. So whatever we are doing in the field of startups or innovations, so it's all for commercial thing only. The entrepreneur must utilize these funds and return. Then coming to the norms for faculty startups. In case of faculty startups, the startup may include only the faculty or faculty members, or with the along with the students and the faculty of the institutes. Okay, and faculty may be the owner of the startup, or he or she may be the mentor, or he may be the promoter, whatever, any role can take as a faculty of the institution. And if a particular innovation is going on, the faculty must clearly separate or distinguish the ongoing research at the SVC. The research is different, and innovation or developing the product is different. There should be clear distinction between the ongoing research and the innovation in which the faculty is working on. And if a faculty is acting as a mentor for a particular set of student startup or student innovation, he or she must not accept any gifts from the startup. And a faculty should not involve the research staff or other staff of the institution. Okay, as I said, the research is different, and the product development is different. The both should not be combined. If the innovation is involved is human subject related research, then we have to get clearance from ethics committee. Then coming to pedagogy and learning interventions for entrepreneurship development, diversified approach should be adopted to produce desirable learning outcomes, which will include cross-disciplinary learning using mentors, labs, case studies, games, etc. in place of traditional lecture-based delivery. The student clubs, bodies, departments will be created for organizing competitions, boot camps, workshops, awards, etc. And these bodies will be involved in institute strategy planning to ensure enhancement of the students' thinking and responding ability. Along with this, the SVC will start annual innovation and entrepreneurship award to recognize outstanding ideas, successful enterprises and contributors for promoting innovation and enterprises ecosystem within the institution. For creating awareness among students, the teaching methods will include case studies on business failure and real life experience reports by startups. So if we make the students to learn or to study about the business failures, then they will be improving their knowledge on what are the difficulties in establishing doing the innovation or in establishing the startup, and they will be aware of what are the business difficulties which will be faced when they start doing on a startup. Then our systems are not designed for tolerating and encouraging failure, but the failures need to be elaborately discussed and debated to imbibe that failure is a part of life, thus helping in reducing the social stigma associated with it. Very importantly, this will be a part of institute's philosophy and culture. The innovation champions will be nominated from within the students, faculty, staff for each department or stream of study. The entrepreneurship education will be imparted to students at curricular, co-curricular or extracurricular level through elective short-term and long-term courses on innovation, entrepreneurship and venture development. Validated learning outcomes will be made available to the students. So these are the things related to pedagogy and learning interventions for entrepreneurship development. Then coming to the aspects of collaboration, co-creation, business relationships and knowledge exchange, the stakeholder engagement will be given a prime importance in the entrepreneurial agenda of the institution. The institution will find potential partners, resource organizations, micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, which are simply called as MSMEs, social enterprises, schools, alumni, professional bodies, and entrepreneurs to support entrepreneurship and co-design the programs. Then the knowledge exchange, with respect to the knowledge exchange through collaboration and partnerships will be made a part of institution's policy and will provide support mechanisms and guidance for creating, managing, and coordinating these relationships. Through formal and informal mechanisms such as internships, then teaching and research exchange programs, clubs, social gatherings, etc. Faculty and the students of the SVCE will be given the opportunities to connect with their external environment. Apart from this, the mechanisms will be devised by the institution to ensure maximum exploitation of entrepreneurial opportunities with industrial and commercial collaborators. Then knowledge management will be done by institution through development of innovation knowledge platform using in-house information and through ICT. So these are all the things related to the collaboration, co-creation, business relationships, and the knowledge exchange. Coming to the last thrust area of the policy made, that is entrepreneurial impact assessment. So whatever the policy we have made, okay, whatever the framework we have made, we should ensure that it will have the good entrepreneurial impact assessment. Okay, so we should ensure that it will create a good innovation and startup ecosystem at the institute. For that, we have to do some entrepreneurial impact assessment. For that, the impact assessment of institutions such as pre-incubation, incubation, entrepreneurship education will be performed regularly using well-defined evaluation parameters. Then how this impact assessment will be made? Based on the number of startups created, support system provided at the institute level, and satisfaction of the participants. The new business relationships created by the institution will be recorded and used for the impact assessment. The impact will also be measured for the support system provided by the institution to the student entrepreneurship, student entrepreneurs, faculty and staff for pre-incubation, incubation, then IBR protection, then industrial linkages, then exposure to entrepreneurial ecosystem, etc. So in this way, the entrepreneurial impact assessment will be made by the institution. And we have also created a dedicated web page for NISP. So whatever the thing which I discussed till now, it is very brief discussion which I made on the innovation and startup policy made at the institute level. If you want to have more information, you can visit this dedicated web page created by our institution. The link is provided in the slide. There you can go through and you can download the detailed innovation and startup policy made. You can download this that document. You can go through in detail, and you can act accordingly. You can involve. You can actively involve in innovation and startup activities. So I hope this session was useful and informative for everyone. For further information, as I said, you can visit the website and you can download the policy. It is very transparent. It is made available through website. You can download it and you can go through, and you can start working on it. So thank you very much. With this, I will conclude the session. If any clarifications are needed with respect to the innovation and startup policy, I can take up. Any questions I can take up. Okay, thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. So it is a very informative session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Devana,
sir. Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you,
dear
sir.
participants, I'll be sharing the feedback link.
Sir, you can share it with us so that we can put it in our groups also to give the feedback.
Yeah, sure, madam. Sure, madam.
Department groups at
I
least.
hope this screen is visible to everyone. So you please go through the feedback link.
The feedback link is also posted in the chat box. If it is accessible, you can use that feedback link.
Please put it in IIT members group, sir.
Okay, madam.
Because we can access it easily, and I'll ask them to give the feedbacks also quickly.
Sure, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your session on awareness of policies. NIS